Hello, welcome to this session of Say Yes to Yoga. We're going to start by sitting upright with legs either crossed or straight out in front of you, whichever is more comfortable. Lower your shoulders and dip your chin slightly. Close the eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. Breathing through the nose where possible. Give yourself a few moments to allow the breath to become steady. And then begin to count. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. And it may be that you've got different numbers or the numbers don't match. But just count, don't try and change it yet. Just count as you breathe in and breathe out. You may find that the breath becomes a little slower and a little deeper. But just observe it. We're not trying to change it. Take 2 more inhales and exhales. And then allow the breath to just carry on normally as you open your eyes, and we will start the physical practice. Bring the arms up and gently circle the wrists, and then change direction. And then release the arms and bring the legs up, straighten them as much as you can, and then you're going to circle the ankles. And then in the opposite direction, and release. And then we're going to do both at the same time. So arms and legs straight up. Make sure there's a gap between the feet to give you room to move. Circling. Just take your time. There's no rush. And then in the opposite direction. And then bring your knees into your chest. Give a gentle squeeze. And then stretch out. Then bring your arms to by the side of your body. Lift the right leg up. And then we're going to take it in a big circle. Just a few times, and then just a few times in the opposite direction. And release, and repeat for the other. So nice big circles rotating from the hip. And you might find one side easier than the other. I found the right side easier than this side. And then in the opposite direction. And then release, bring the knees into the chest. And then roll yourself up or bring yourself up to sitting, however is comfortable. And then you're going to come onto your hands and your knees, ready for your spinal stretch. Arch your spine up and then dip your spine down, looking ahead, and then arch your spine up again. Then dip down, looking ahead, arching up again, dipping down, looking ahead, arching the spine up, and then dipping down, looking ahead, keeping the neck long, arching the spine up, dipping down, drawing the shoulders back, arching up again, and dipping down, looking ahead, and return to tabletop. And then from tabletop you can push yourself back into your child's pose, bringing the forehead down onto the mat. Bring yourself up into tabletop, tuck the toes under, bring the hands back towards the knees, push back onto the feet, and come up into your mountain pose. So we're going to do sun salutation I or Surya Namaskar I, starting with mountain pose. Inhale, exhale, 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 inhale, back to mountain pose. So this time I'll guide you through the movements, reaching up, folding forward, looking ahead, folding in half, stepping the feet back, pushing down on the heels, shoulders are away from the wrists, coming into plank pose, lowering the body down, bringing the upper body up off the mat, lowering back down, back into plank pose, back onto the feet, bringing the feet towards the hands, coming up onto fingertips, lowering down, and then slowly coming back up into mountain pose. And this time I'll guide you through the pose names. Upward salute, so I'll stick to the English rather than the Sanskrit. Forward fold, flat back extension, forward fold, downward facing dog, plank pose, and you can hold each of these for a couple of breaths if you like. Coming down, ready to push up into snake pose, and then back into plank pose, into downward facing dog, coming into forward fold, onto fingertips for flat back extension, forward fold, and mountain. From mountain pose, you're going to take your right foot back, toes pointing out roughly 45 degrees, bend your left knee, sink your hips down as far as you can, and bring the arms up. Take a breath or two here, and you can bring your right arm down to touch the back of the right leg and look up at the left hand. Keep breathing, and then on an inhale, bring both arms back up. Then release, straighten the front leg, bring the back leg forwards, hands to either side, and come into a back bend, and then straighten up, returning to mountain. Come into a back bend, and then fold forwards, but take the hands behind you, and push the knuckles up and away from you. Then breathe in to come up and release the arms. Step your left foot back, bend your right knee, bring the arms up. Keep breathing, then bring the left arm down, and you can take the right arm further back. Then bring the arms back up. Release, straighten the front leg, bring the back foot forwards, bring the arms up into a back bend, and then fold forwards, taking the hands behind you once more. Then on an inhale, you can bring the body up and return to mountain. From mountain, you're going to breathe in, arms up, exhale, fold forward, step the feet back into downward facing dog, and raise the right leg. Keep that right leg raised for another breath, and then bend the knee and bring it in towards the right arm, bringing your body forward, and then straighten again. Repeat twice more, and straighten, and a third time. Then bring the right leg down and bring the feet towards the hands, bringing the body up into mountain pose. And then we're going to repeat for the left leg. So straighten the left leg up, and then bend the knee, bringing it towards the left arm. Straighten as you push back. Then bend the knee. And then straighten. And then bend for the final time. Push back. And bring the leg down. And just bend the knees one at a time. Just bringing a little bit of movement into them before you bring the feet towards the hands and slowly come up into mountain. So we're going to do a stretch and a balance now. So take the feet a little wider than hip width. Take your left hand to your side and lift the right arm up and over. Feeling the stretch all along the right side of the body. Breathe in to come back up. Then you're going to use the left leg as your balancing leg. So shift your weight onto the left foot and bring the right leg, so the knee is pointing out to the side, and lift the toes up if you feel steady enough. You can keep toes on the floor if you wish. The arms can be by your side, or you can bring them into prayer pose. And just take a few breaths while you're here before you release, and bring both feet to the ground. And then we do the same on the other side. Right hand to your side, lifting up with the left arm over. And just hold for a breath or two. And then release. And then it's going to be your right leg that you're standing on for balance. And again, keep toes on the floor if you wish, or bring the foot further up. Prayer pose. Or you may even want to be adventurous and put your arms in the air. Find yourself a focus point to help with your concentration. And then bring it to a nice controlled release. So bring the feet once more to just a little bit wider than hip width, and turn the toes slightly outwards. We're going to come into woodcutter or woodchopper pose. Clasp the hands together, take them up, breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to bend the knees and swing the arms down and through. Then breathe in to straighten up and bend. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And just take this at your own pace, you don't have to go too fast. Use your breath to help you. And finish with the arms up and release. And bring the feet together. The closer together the feet are, the more intense this will probably feel. So I'll show you from an angle. Bring your knees forward, sink down, and bring the arms out. Sink down further if you can. Then on an exhale, take the arms back. Inhale to bring them forwards. Exhale back. Inhale forwards. Exhale back, and just do this a few more times. Again, using your breath with the movement. And then release the arms. Stand upright and take the feet to underneath hip width once more. We're now going to use that chair pose again, but this time bring in some balance into it. So sink down to begin with, bring the arms forwards and up, and then lift the heels up off the mat. Press them back down, sink down further if possible, lifting the heels up and back down, and then a third time, lifting them up, sink down if you can, push them back down, release the arms and come to standing. Come towards the front of your mat now, arms up, folding forwards, hands on the mat, bending the knees as much as you need to so that you can place hands comfortably on the floor, and stepping your feet back into your downward facing dog. And just take a breath or two here. And then come down into your plank pose. You can bring these to the floor if needed. And then lower the whole body down. Keep the elbows tucked in. Breathe in to push up into snake pose or Bhujangasana. Then come back down, and we're going to push up and back towards the heels into child's pose. So I'm going to do another back bend now that's a little more intense. So stretch the legs out behind you. So take the hands further down the body. Breathe in as you push up, and then onto the top of the feet, lift the chin. And release, and come back into your child's pose. Stretch yourself out across your mat. Lift your chin up. Have the backs of the hands on the mat. Then on an inhale, you're going to lift the legs up and the arms, pushing the fingers behind you, and come down on an exhale. And then repeat, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in and out, and repeat twice more. And then push yourself up and repeat the spinal stretch. So in tabletop pose, and then arching the spine, and then curling the spine in the opposite direction, arching up, curling down, and a third time, really getting that spine moving. And then you're going to push back and come up to kneeling. Make sure there's a gap between the knees, usually one that you can fit your two fists in between. Bring your hands to either side. Tuck your toes under. You can have feet flat, but if you're going to go for the full version of this pose, it's easier to have the heels higher. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and gently push the heart upwards and out. Allow the head to dip back a little, but you're not trying to hang it back. And then if you want to reach down for the heels, you can. You can do one side at a time, or you may be able to do both sides together. good place to look at is where the ceiling meets the wall, because that ensures that the head isn't too far back. Then to come out, breathe in, to lift the one arm and then the other, and release. Then sink down onto the heels. Bring the arms out in front of you and take the left arm over the right. Start by touching opposite shoulders and either stay there, or you may be able to take it further into eagle arms, which is where we bring the forearms together and then the right hand towards us and into the left palm, and pushing the elbows up. So I'll show you this side with a side view, and then unhook, and then I'll just adjust around and show you the other side from a front view. So this time it's right arm over the top. Start by touching opposite shoulders. You might be able to bring the forearms together and bring the fingers towards the palm, and you'll have your own version of this, so just do what your body lets you. And then unhook and release. Take the hands behind your back and just clasp the fingers together and push the knuckles down. Squeezing the shoulder blades together and release. And bring yourself into a seated position, and you're going to take your left leg underneath and your right leg over the top, with the toes pointing forwards, and then take your right arm behind you and the left hand over the top. And you might be able to join your fingers together, you might not. And you can use a strap between the hands to help if needed. And then release the arms first, release the legs, and then you'll do it for the opposite side. So I'll show you the other way round now, so that you can see what the arms are doing. So right leg underneath, left leg over the top, and then it's the left hand up and the right arm over. So this side I can touch, the other side I couldn't. But again, you'll know how your body feels and what it lets you do. And then release the arms, release the legs, and stretch the legs out in front of you. Pointing the toes up towards you. Inhale to bring the arms up, and exhale over the legs. And take 3 breaths here. And then bring your body up, and then you're going to take your right leg, bend it, allow it to fall out to the side, and stretch over the left leg. And then come up on your next inhale, straighten out the right leg and repeat. So bending the left knee, allowing it to fall out to the side, keeping the toes pointing up on the right leg and extending yourself over the right leg. Then breathing in to come back up, stretch the legs out, and you're going to bend the right knee, and this time take it over the other side of the left leg. Take the right hand behind you for support and bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee and twist to look over the right shoulder, keeping the toes on the extended leg pointing up. And then return to centre and swap over. If you can't comfortably place the sole of the foot on the floor, you can keep it on the inside of the leg. And then back to centre, release, and then bend both knees and allow them to fall to the side, bringing the soles of the feet together. You can hold either around the ankles, around the tops of the feet, or even around the toes. Gently squeeze the shoulder blades together. Fold forward if you're able. I'm unable to fold forward anymore. And then release the hands and stretch the legs out. Come down onto your back with your knees bent. Make sure you've got enough space that you can bring your arms back and past the top of the head. And then we're going to start with the arms either side of the body. Bring the heels as close into the body as you can. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breathe in to lift up the hips. And then come down on an exhale. So you can either stick with that version or you can move the arms as well. So we're going to breathe in, lifting up and taking the arms all the way back. Breathing out. Breathing in. You can clasp the hands together or you can keep them apart. Breathing out. And then just going to squeeze the shoulder blades together a little more. A third and final time. Breathing in. And I'm going to hold it for a breath this time. So an exhale and an inhale. And then an exhale. And stretch the legs out. Then bend your knees and bring the knees upwards, lifting the feet off the ground as well. Take the arms and bring them in between the knees and either grab around the ankles or around the toes or the side of the feet, and have the feet and knees in line with the hips to come into your happy baby pose. Make any adjustments you need to. slowly release the feet and bring the feet back down. And then you're going to take the right foot up and over to cross over the left leg. And you're going to try and hook the right foot behind the left leg and bring it into a twist. So take the arms out to the side so they don't get in the way. And then bring both knees down onto the floor. And then bring the toes further behind the left leg. And again, you'll have your own version of this. Breathe in to bring the legs back up to centre and repeat the other side. So hooking over, folding the knees over to one side and then straightening the right leg a little to hook the toes around. And you're trying to push the knees as far down onto the floor as you can. You can always lift the opposite arm up and bring it alongside the body if that's more comfortable. Bring the legs back and bring the right knee into your chest. And release and bring the left knee in. And release. Stretch the body out once more. And then prepare yourself for Savasana. So in Savasana, the feet naturally roll out to the sides, the palms are facing up, the arms are a short distance away from the body, fingers naturally curling inwards, the eyes are closed, the jaw is relaxed, and your breathing is steady. So to begin with, think about some of your favourite places. And if you think about a place hard enough, really try to think about what it is like when you are there. You may begin to have feelings associated with that location, because our brain has the ability to create emotional reactions based entirely on our thoughts. And just think about one or two of your favourite places and what you most like about them. How do they make you feel? And to start with, we're going to use an example of a beach as a calm, relaxing place. The sun is high in the sky and you're surrounded by soft golden sand. There's no one else around. The water is a greenish blue with the waves calmly rolling in from the ocean. Think of everything you can see. And then imagine the waves becoming louder. A deep pounding and splashing of the waves. The seagulls in the background squawking. Imagine everything you can hear. The sun is warm on your back, although there is a breeze that cools you down just enough. You can feel the sand moving between your toes. What else can you feel? imagine you have a cold glass of your favourite drink, sensing the flavour on your tongue before you swallow. Think about what you can taste. You can smell the fresh ocean air, full of salt. Consider any other smells there may be on this calm, relaxing beach. And now you can either continue to use the beach or think of your own location, one of your favourite places. Where is it? Who is there with you? Is there anyone with you, or are you alone? What are you doing? What can you see? What can you hear? What textures can you feel with your hands and feet? Is there anything you can taste? Are there any smells present? Really absorb yourself in this image. And just enjoy being here for a few more moments. Ready, you can begin to stretch out your body and slowly bring yourself into a seated position. Take your time to open your eyes and return to the present. That signals the end of this session. Namaste. Thank you for watching.